Chamo agora a sua atenção para o momento que se segue. Nataly Kogan é a autora e CEO da Happier, refugiada da ex-União Soviética, a viver nos Estados Unidos da América, e está cá hoje de propósito para estar connosco, para nos falar do conceito de felicidade associado ao trabalho, mas no fundo à vida em geral. Irá ainda lançar um desafio incrível, para todos e todas que nos estão agora a ver. Vamos ouvi-la? Acho que sim. Hello, dear Nataly.
Hello.
Can I kiss you?
Oh,
because
yes.
you are happiness. So I have to touch in the happiness.
Contagious.
Yeah,
No, we've passed it on.
Exactly. So I know that you are going to talk about happiness, and I have to tell you that we are very happy because you are here.
Oh, thank you for having me. It's such an honor. Thank
So the
you.
stage is yours.
Thank
Nataly.
you. So I am so grateful to be here and talk to you about happiness, but first I have to tell you, for most of my life, I didn't know how to feel happier. In fact, I was really good at struggling. As you've heard, I grew up in the former Soviet Union, and in Russia, struggling was considered good. And we had this saying that happiness is for stupid people. So we were really good at struggling, not very good at happiness. And when I was a teenager, my parents and I left everything we had behind and came to the United States as refugees. Now, you can imagine this was a really difficult experience. We had no money. I didn't speak English. Everyone made fun of me in school. So I felt awful inside. And I really wanted to feel better. And the way that I decided I would feel better is by working really hard. I thought, I'll be happy when I become successful, when I have a successful career, when I take care of my family. And so for the next 20 years, I worked very hard. And I built a very successful career in technology and finance. And I took care of my family and my parents. But I didn't feel happy. That happiness that I wanted to feel, I didn't feel inside. I was still struggling. And I pushed myself very hard. I never did things that brought me joy because I thought that was very selfish. Until one day, several years ago, I completely burnt out and I couldn't push myself anymore. I couldn't function. And my burnout was a really, really painful experience, but it taught me an incredible lesson, which is what the lesson I'm here to share with all of you. And what I learned was that happiness is not something we can achieve on the outside. In fact, nothing you do can bring you lasting happiness. Not being really successful, not getting that great job. And it's not because it's your fault, it's because this is how our human brain works. Our brain is very adaptable. So we achieve that new job, we get that success, we feel good for a short amount of time, and then our brain gets used to it, and we don't feel good anymore. So we can't achieve our way into happiness, but happiness is something that we can practice on the inside. I invite you to think of happiness as a skill. And like any skill, like riding a bike or becoming a better cook, you can practice improving it. And the other thing I want to tell you about happiness as a skill is it doesn't mean being joyful or positive all the time. Happiness is not about always feeling positive emotions. Genuine happiness is about cultivating your inner well-being. And do you know that there are now literally mountains of research that show that when you cultivate your happiness, when you cultivate your inner well-being, you perform at the top of your potential across every category. People who are happier are more productive at work. They're more successful at work. They're better at solving problems. They're more creative. They're better at helping other people. They're more resilient during difficult times. I can keep going. I don't have enough time to tell you all about the scientifically proven benefits of cultivating your well-being on the inside. So I'm inviting you to flip how you think about happiness. I think for most of my life, and I know I'm not alone, I used to have this mantra of, I'll be happy when. Right? Do you ever catch yourself thinking, I'll be happy when I get that job, or when I get a promotion, or when I move to a different place? And we think that doing things or achieving things will bring us inner joy. It turns out it's the opposite. When you cultivate your genuine happiness, when you cultivate your true inner well-being, it helps you be more productive, it helps you be better as a leader, it helps you be a better human being. Do you know there's even research now that shows that when you improve your happiness, you study better, you're better at retaining information, and you're more successful in your education. So like I said, mountains of research that show that happiness isn't a prize that we get at the end of a life where we're successful and achieve things. It's actually a fundamental key ingredient in cultivating your well-being, which then allows you to be successful. It allows you to do all the things that you care about. Now, the way that I invite you to think about happiness is think about a flower, right? What does the flower need to grow? Well, it needs good soil and sunshine and, some fresh air. You are a human being. You're not a machine. You can't, that's how I used to treat myself before I burnt out. You can't just go, go, go and push yourself. You have to nourish yourself so you can flourish. And that is my invitation to you, is to consider happiness as not something where you're supposed to feel good all the time or laugh all the time, but think of it as doing things that nourish your inner flower so you can flourish. And the thing about flourishing, and this is one of the biggest lessons that I have learned on my journey, when I finally began to do things that honored myself as a human being, when I learned how to do things that brought me joy, when I began to practice gratitude, which as research shows is one of the best ways to cultivate your happiness skills by practicing gratitude, when I began to really treat myself as a human being and honor my happiness, I flourished. I became better at my job. I became a lot more successful. I was better able to take care of my family. So in a way, you are a flower. And when you cultivate your inner happiness and well-being, you help yourself flourish. So I want to invite you to do something with me. Take a chance with me, okay? Because I'm asking you to do something right now that's a little bit original. I want you to paint a flower with me. So I have here, as you can see, I have an easel and I have some paints, but I want you to just grab pencil, markers, any piece of paper, it doesn't matter. And I want you to draw or paint a little flower with me as a symbol of your flourishing, as a small commitment to your inner happiness, your well-being, and therefore your success and your ability to do all the things you want to do. So grab a piece of paper, anything you can draw or paint with, and do this along with me. Now, the other thing I want to mention is I always wanted to paint. When I came from Russia as a refugee, I remember I just wanted to paint, but I never let myself do it because I thought, I don't know, I should work hard, I should take care of my family, what is this painting thing? Painting brings me joy. When I paint, it honors my humanity. It cultivates my happiness skill. So I want to paint for you and with you as a symbol of making this commitment to myself to do things that bring me that inner well-being. And I want you to do it as a commitment to yourself to cultivate your well-being so that you can perform at your best in whatever area of your life you want to do it. All right, are you in? I know I can't see you, but I can feel you. And I know a lot of you just nodded. So let's do this, okay? Here we go. I just need to grab this. And I want to tell you that I didn't prepare what I'm going to paint. So we're doing this on the spot together. I do very much love sunflowers. So I just realized I'm going to paint a sunflower. And as I do, and I hope you do this with me, I want to tell you something else that I learned about flourishing. You know, even after I burnt out and I had to learn the lesson that happiness wasn't something that could come from the outside, and I began to practice gratitude, and I began to practice doing more things that brought me joy, I thought, it feels a little selfish to focus on what makes me happy. It felt to me like, you know, there are real problems in the world, and I should maybe do things for other people. So I want to tell you why happiness can never be selfish. And as I'm telling you this, I know I can't see you, but I really hope you're drawing along with me. So as human beings, all of your emotions are contagious. There's research that shows that if you have a friend who is happier, you're 25% more likely to have better well-being yourself. At work, leaders who cultivate their well-being have teams that all report having greater well-being and have teams that all perform better. So your happiness can never be selfish because when you flourish, you are helping every single person in your life flourish as well. Your happiness infects other people and improves their well-being and therefore improves their performance. So now, when I encounter a skeptic, a happiness skeptic like I used to be, and they say that, oh, it feels really selfish to focus on my own happiness. This is what I tell them. Your happiness can never be selfish because we're all connected as human beings. Just going to look at my sunflower, abstract sunflower, of course. We're all connected as human beings. All of our emotions are contagious. By the way, this is true with your partner. This is true with your kids and is absolutely true at work. Let's give my sunflower a little center. And so your flourishing can never be selfish because when you cultivate your happiness, you are helping every single person around you cultivate theirs. And I mentioned leaders. There's a lot of research right now that shows that in the workplace, especially after what we've all gone through in the past couple years, that leaders who make the well-being of themselves and their teams their top priorities have the best performing teams. They build trust with their colleagues, and it cultivates the performance and engagement of everyone on the team. Okay, I could keep going, but I want to stop. Let's just add a little yellow here, because yellow brings me joy. That's why I wear yellow. It's something that cultivates my happiness. And again, this is a quick 3-minute flower just to represent, for me, this is my flourishing. And so I hope you don't have to stop. You can keep drawing your flower. But please remember, happiness can never be selfish. When you invest in your well-being, as we've talked about, as research shows, you improve and fuel your capacity to perform at your best in every single area of your work in life that you care about, and you improve your ability to flourish, to truly be a force of good in the world. So this is my symbol for me and for all of us, to commit to your flourishing.
E agora estou ao lado, estou já a sentir aqui a energia boa, amarela, da Nataly Kogan, que prometeu e que vai cumprir, quem promete assim cumpre sempre, e irá mostrar o que fez então com todas as flores que foram imensas. Obrigada por terem aceitado cumprir este TPC, e vamos ver o que é que as vossas flores resultaram em quê, no fundo. Quero já, antes de mais, agradecer à Nataly a sua presença neste evento. Thank you, Nataly, thank you.
Oh,
and I'm so curious. I just have to say that there are loads of pictures, loads. Portuguese people are incredible. Incredible.
I just have to say, amazing.
Woo!
Amazing.
And now we are curious. We need to know.
Okay.
What are you going to do with our pictures?
Oh, well, I would like to take them all home and hang them all over my house. That's what I would like. But these are amazing. Sorry, I'm really distracted.
Incredible.
What I heard from the team is so many of you sent in your flowers. That is such a huge testament to your commitment to your happiness. I love that. And
look all over.
Look at them.
The house is
They're amazing. Okay, so now I have to reveal one more thing of why I asked you to do this. There was a little bit hidden agenda. When we do something creative, like drawing the simplest of flowers, it can really connect us to a deeper part of ourselves. So I asked you to draw a flower, but really, I wanted you to do it to connect deeply to this commitment to honor your happiness, your well-being, and your flourishing. So these flowers are not for me, they are for you. I am so immensely grateful for your courage, for your willingness, and most of all, for your commitment to your flourishing. Because when you flourish, everyone around does, just like our garden on our walls here. So thank you. Amazing, amazing, amazing. These are amazing.
Thank you once again. Thank you.
Thank you, Katarina.
Another hug.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.